All right, we gotta go back to the basics. Turns out nobody has a freaking clue what I'm talking about. When I say basics, I'm talking about materials. Let's go check out some of the most commonly used materials I use on almost every job. I'm so lucky. My supplier let me come here, do some filming. I wanna show you guys how valuable it is to have a good supplier. Let's talk about the number one reason why I chose this supplier, and it's because of how good looking the staff is. This is Peter.
What's up? How are you?
The benefit of having a good supplier is they know I'm an alcoholic. So they call me. If I miss my alarm clock, they call. Realistically, they do help me out every single day. This is Katie and Leah. They're in charge of all the shipping, all the stuff. It always gets to us on time. When we even go into a job, we demo it out. They take all of the stuff that we demo out. Pretty much start to finish, they do everything for us. So what's some of the responsibilities you guys do, or how do you help my life?
Well, we especially help you when you help us, which you guys are great at. Having measurements, button down. You are not underquoting your customer, so then we don't feel the pressure to make that work out a little bit better.
You see how good they are?
Oh, Richie is the man. We love him. The Haydens are nothing without Richie.
Check out some of the materials. That's decorative stone. Really no need to bury that in the ground. That's just for topping stuff. It's even more decorative. Gets bigger, it gets more expensive. That's all like smoothed out rock. This stuff is more of the stuff we would be using for that open graded stone that we're always talking about. That's our 3/4. So when I'm screeding something, I use chip stone, which is angular stone. The reason I do that, think about precipitation. If I have to screed a big job, let's say it's something like 3,000 square feet, I'm not gonna be able to lay all that in one day. So if I get the precipitation coming, or if I have to walk away from a job for whatever reason, if I'm using this chip stone, it can rain like hell, it's not gonna matter, it's not gonna screw up my job. But I use angular stone, not pea stone. A lot of people say pea stone, right? It's not stable, right? There's a lot of movement in pea stone. Picture walking through pea stone. This is 3/8, it's chipped. Take a look at this. You see how it's not like pea stone? You see how it's all angular? This is the stuff that you can walk across and you're not gonna leave footprints in after. This is the stuff we use for screeding under all the pavers. That's sand. That's stone dust, that's cards. Chris, I gotta ask you, there's a lot of people still using the stone dust for the screed. Why would I not use that?
Well, first of all, if you do use that, you actually void the warranty of every concrete paving manufacturer out there. Stone dust has a lot of fines in it, so it holds a lot of water. Since water is the enemy of concrete, that can create issues. Your pavers, or whether they're natural stone or concrete, do have an absorption rate. They'll absorb the water that's just sitting there in this fine material, and they'll suck it up to the top, and it creates secondary efflorescence that can be very, very hard to get rid of. So it's really not a good thing to do. It can also create some unbalancedness sometimes. If it gets really sloppy and soggy, you might have pieces that sink down and raise up and slightly. It's going to increase the factor of frost heaving.
Right. We don't use that. There's no need for that ever anymore. Dense grade. That's the stuff we use for a base. Processed gravel is something I use for a base. You always want to put about 8 inches under everything we do. I use dense grade, which is kind of like crushed stone. It comes with all those fines, all the stone dust, and all the crushed stone in it. And that stuff packs like hell. So we always use that for the base. And then on top of that is where you use your screed layer, and then usually pavers. You can use that open graded 3/4 when you need to. Sometimes you need it for drainage, it helps a lot. But most times you can just get away with this dense grade. This is the real stuff. It has fines in it, but it really packs together. You throw a compactor on that, that's what feels like concrete after it's all compacted. Gotta dress up jobs sometimes, right? It's nice to have actually like really, really well-screened loom, so they take care of us there. Maybe that clears up some of the confusion when it comes to the materials we use, the terminology I use. The next video, we're gonna show how we install all this stuff. Stick around, subscribe. I'm gonna explain everything there is hardscaping.